Tusha, are you coming? Yes, just a moment. You already see it. 18 plus only. This game contains offensive language, scenes of physical and psychological. Ooh. Okay. This is Tiny Bunny. Oh, his nose moves. And let's just see what this is about. Kind of excited. I think it's going to be spooky and creepy. Is that snow? Or is this tire mark? Tire mark. Oh, this is ice, huh? The wind clawed at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneering, twined in the air. They were shouting and laughing and arguing about something. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our houses had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that had seen a lot in its days and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, wrestling, whizzing, swaying back and forth. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves there was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow, just a play. I knew it was just my imagination. I was already 12 after all. Still. Oh, it's a wolf, bro. Episode 1, the owl will arrive. Okay, that was hella cryptic. I don't know what funky ass owl is coming, but I mean, I guess he's coming. Pause. Ooh. Hey, put your book away. Can I... Wait, can I get her to speak in English, dude? Damn, that would have been so tight. Wait. No, I don't think so. This shit is kind of cool, though. Let me go back. Not reset to it. Press escape. Okay. How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look at how slouchy you are. Bruh, I would be on my phone at the table. Reading at the table is good, dude. Hide? Oh, hide the book. Okay. Oh shit, I skipped that. I think I could go back. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Olya had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic. She almost looked like your typical girl from the commercials. Can she wipe that shit off her face though? You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it. Damn, Mom. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. Hazy, anxious, welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night. The black forest around our house and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. This is some nasty-ass food. It looked like a jellyfish from the Odyssey. I love that show. I love Mario Odyssey too. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. Ooh, the Kraken is down there, man. Or how cold the black forest is at night. I don't fuck with the forest. I'd rather go in the ocean, in the deepest depths of the ocean, than a dark ass forest with the Wendigo, bro. The spoon fell out of my hand. My mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes. What did I say? I'll get it. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I felt around for the spoon. What is this carved on the other side of the table? Karina? Who's that? Huh, that's my mom's name. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. Damn, how long y'all had that table then? She sure was a rascal, damaging the furniture like that. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar though. Hypocrite. Should I remind her about it? No, that's how you get your ass beat. No, she's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. I imagine her being my age sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Or the sounds coming from the attic? Or the thick forest? I imagine my grandma coming into my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed where Olya sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice. Tega is a special place, little girl. It's watching you closely, sniffing you out, trying to discern what kind of beast you are. If you're a good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble. But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by the side and drag you under the ground. And that would be it. Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. She seems fucking scary. Those were the times without the maddening screams until late at night, without smashed dishes and mutual accusations. Our parents used to love each other back then. Aw, damn, bro, I know how it feels. I remember listening in one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. She had already bought a casket, and she called it her cute funeral box. Damn! That's some real shit. It waited for its time in the closet patiently. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. Yuck. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all of the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with gray faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. I crawled out from under the table. Olya was done with her cookies and was looking at my share like a sly woodland critter. I turned my gaze toward the frosty window. There were a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass. Olya, look, it's a fox. Oh yeah, it is a fox. Where? It looked almost like those optical illusion thingies they put back of student notebooks. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision a little bit and look at it at a certain angle, not outside on the window. Look, here's the nose, and here's... Hey, eat up! I need to fix my mom's voice, man. Yes, just a moment. I don't see anything.
Совсем немного осталось.
Hurry up. There's not much left.
Вот. Но все равно не похоже.
Oh, there it is. But it still doesn't look like one.
А я говорю, похоже.
And I'm telling you, it does.
Похоже.
It does.
Прекратите.
Stop
Что
it.
за дети?
These kids, I swear. Now I couldn't see the fox either. It disappeared. Went away. Only the frosty pattern, similar to stretched out nettle leaves, kept creeping up the glass. Oh, you got a dad, bro. I thought it was just mom. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. Mom would always ask jokingly, "Come on, shave it off, it stings." This was so long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors, woody comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Olya was always covering her ears whenever she hears something like, "What's the point in all this?" through the wall. It's all for your sake, Dad would reply. For the sake of our family. I always caught every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the deadliest word that started with a D. Divorce! I don't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken into two different families.
Да что
It's the
твоя
same
лиса?
family, but
Вот
you
у
just...
меня на окне сова.
Anyway, your fox is nothing. I have an owl on my window.
Опять ты со своей совой.
You and your owl talk again.
Так ты же вчера мне
You said
верил.
you believed me just yesterday.
Никто
Has
ключи от
anybody
машины
seen
не
my
видел?
car keys?
Вроде
I
оставлял на
remember
подоконнике.
leaving them on the windowsill.
Вроде.
Right.
Вроде оставлял.
Maybe you did and maybe not.
Вроде взрослый.
You're a
мужчина.
grown man, a father of two, and still...
Перестань, пожалуйста.
Karina, please stop.
Дай мне
Just
спокойно
let me
собраться.
get ready in peace. Damn, all I ask is about my fucking car keys. Hate this family. I ain't coming back, bro.
В корзине твои ключи.
Your
Вот
keys
и
are in the
телефон.
back seat near the phone.
Огромное тебе человеческое
Well,
спасибо.
thank you very much.
Антон, ешь быстрее, а то как мученик
Anton,
сидишь.
stop making a martyr out of yourself and finish eating already. Never watched that movie, bro.
А сова?
But the owl.
Не было там никакой
There's no
совы.
owl.
Была.
But there was one.
Глазюки огромные.
It's a giant glowing eyes. Olia sprung up from the chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers the size of an apple each.
В прошлом году бабай в шкафу.
Last
Сейчас
year,
сова.
wait, hold up. Last year you had the bob. Can I click on it?
Но я же видела.
But I saw it. Olia shifted her gaze back and forth from Dad to Mom to me, but couldn't find
А
any
ты не
support.
думала подружиться с ней?
Have you thought about befriending it?
Вымышленными
You know, like feeding
мышами
it
покормить.
with imaginary mice?
Не подначивай ребенка.
Don't bully her, girl.
Просто малая еще.
She's just
Не
afraid to
спать
sleep
одна.
alone because she's still little. Olia pouted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Ooh, she pissed. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. I'm uncomfortable right now, bro. Dad just snorted in reply and left, ringing with keys he just found. Snorted? He said... A minute had passed, and the theme song from The Little Mermaid. Ooh, I like that movie. It was stored on incredibly worn out cassette tape, which Dad had already glued together once. It's so easy to fix objects by gluing them back together, for example. But how do you fix a relationship? Damn, kid, you got some real stuff on your mind. Mom moved to the living room, and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. Olia had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. She would toss and turn or curl up into a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would jump in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped to take our mind off all the troubles we had with the move and our parents. Ooh. And then Olia said she saw that giant flying monster outside her window. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Olia refused to sleep alone, and she didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. After last night, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words. What to think of it myself. Can night bears be infectious? That night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep and ended up thinking of what to expect from my new school. Is that Michael Jackson? There were a couple of days left before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew long, twisting hallways that led to a classroom full of kids, but all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures, cut out using a template. Ew, circular holes in the middle of their faces and pairs of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind with the flat black silhouettes. Ugh. Their cruel glares, filled with icy sneers, made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Hell yeah, you will. Won't they gang up on me, beat me down, stomp on me with their bloody shoes? Nah, we gonna fuck everybody up, bro. The damn school can burn for all I care, yeah. I just wish for anything to happen to it. Doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there that badly. I didn't want to see people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me. Worse than the previous one. It felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider or some sort of monster. Damn. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Olia begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine Mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You got the wrong number." Or, Anton is not around. Anton is not around. I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their windows. Maybe my new classmates will like me after all. Yeah, have some hope, little man. But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? Oh my god, bro. Get over it, I'm black. I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. See, dude, there you go. Have a little confidence. The house creaked, pressing by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with the neighbor's drill, mumbled with a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent, easygoing during the day. Its shadows lay dormant in the corners, on the closet cobwebs, and under the stairs, but they all woke up during the night. Something was watching me from every corner. Ugh. Almost as if the old photos of my deceased family with their ashen eyes were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. Damn. The floor was squeaky. Rusty drains were moaning. The attic was occupied by noisy drafts. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. And then I realized I was in fact hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. It's the Piper, bro. It was mixed in with the sound of the wind, of the creaking old house, and my thoughts too. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing it there amidst the cold, snowy night, right? Let's check it out. Oh, someone was dancing in the field. Black silhouettes I could barely make out with the dark forest as their backdrop. They jumped around, basked in moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around and crawled on all fours. It's a bunch of animals, dude. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to my mind, but these were clearly not wolves. They stood upright at times, circled around holding hands, and whipped up snow, disappearing into the shadow for a brief moment, and then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. Suddenly, the music had stopped. Ugh! Why the fuck are they just... The dancing shadows froze in place, and I could swear pierced me with their eyes. Yeah, they're looking dead on me, bro. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnival and sprinted across the field with a giant leap. It glided on squeaky snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by the pitch black shadow of my house, which became even darker and thicker. You better fucking scream for your mom right now. My heart was jumping around like a bird inside a cage. I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back toward the bed. They saw me. Yeah, get up under the covers right now. I would wake your mom, wake your dad. A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened to some unwanted guest move and scrape around looking for an entrance. The sound moved to the right, then circled around the house. Now, my guest should be at the front door. I jumped into the bed, covered myself with the blankets as if it could protect me. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remembered the funeral, my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features sharp, like that of a tin doll. Oh! And running up and down the legs of the chair that held my grandma's casket. That shit made me itch, bro. Oh my god, stop. I imagine those little creatures climbing up her head and pulling up her eyelids. Ew, this is nasty as hell. Then her wrinkly eyeballs would once again move inside their sockets, and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. I was chanting the spell she taught me throughout the whole procedure. And now, lying under the blanket and listening to squeaks and howls, I was repeating the same words. On the island of Buyan, underneath the blemished sun in the sea of color blue, stands a cabin made of wood. There lay lard and ashen hair for the spawn from devil's lair to feast and always leave alone. God's faithful servant named Anton. Evil leaves this house must. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Bizarre sounds had disappeared. Oh my god, thank you. I cautiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw curtains waving around like a hanged man. And then the night doused me with a new portion of boiling terror. The sound scratched at my eardrums. In reality, something or someone were scratching at the front door, hurriedly clawing at the wood, demanding to be let in. The door was shut. Dad had become very cautious recently, so he installed a sturdy lock. I remember him staring at the forest intently as if he was looking for someone. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the might of darkness. And then... Dude! The doorknob twitched slightly. Then it turned halfway once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hands. The doorknob tilted once more and then started clicking violently. My jaw cramped from fear. My wet fingers clutched the blanket. Oh shit! The door cracked open, bro. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the tin drains. Now, you'll see. The door was wide open, dude. What is that? The darkness writhed inside the carnivorous mouth of a doorway. It was as if the night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and squeaking with the rusty hinges. I was trembling, ensnared by the web of darkness that hung in the corners of my room, waiting for the one who weaved it to come out of the gaping black hole. My abdomen... Tuna, bro. My abdomen tightened and my chest rose up, ready to exhale a desperate scream. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me, Tusha, you sleep? Oh my god. My sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. And what the fuck is this behind her, dude? I almost screamed from relief. Olia, I'm not sleeping. Did something happen? Olia frowned and stuck out her lower lip, a clear sign that she was about to cry. It's staring at me. Shoot her away, Tusha, please. I'm so scared. The fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago crawled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I need to calm Olia down. It was just a dream, silly. Don't be scared. Dreams don't bite. No one's gonna harm you. Olia sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me, but was I sure
У меня есть
myself?
идея.
I have an idea.
Пойдем к тебе в комнату.
Let's go to your room
Посмотрим.
and watch the video Sleeping Beauty, for example.
Тебе же нравится?
You like that cartoon, don't you?
Почему у спящей красавицы
Why does the
принц
Sleeping
умер?
Beauty have a prince and I have this scary bird? That question took me by surprise.
Ладно, давай посмотрим.
Alright,
что уже.
let's watch Cinderella. I love Cinderella. My thoughts became tangled, fuzzy. What was that? What studied me with its eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon? The darkness was clinging to my window, and it couldn't be fooled by my grandma's old chants. It couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard and long ashen hair.
Слушай, ты идешь?
Tusha, are you coming?
Да, сейчас.
Yes, just a moment. Dude. Oh, shit. Oh, it was all a dream. That's why I don't want to laugh at Oya and her owl in the morning. Yeah. Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? We don't know anyone around here. Mom, please don't open the door. So persistent. I feel extremely unsettled just from a silly thought that our morning guest could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide in the closet, under the table, behind the curtains where Olia always hides. Okay, I'm coming, Mom. I felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragging them toward the hallway. Who the fuck is this? A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. They smell like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars, worse than bandits. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused.
Здравствуйте.
Hello? The senior officer who wore a grim expression nodded. No, bro.
Тут мальчик вчера потерялся. Вовой зовут.
A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name is Vova.
Глянь, пожалуйста.
Look
Ты
at
его не
this, please. Have you seen him? There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile. That cat looks terrified of that boy.
Нет.
No, I haven't.
Точно? Посмотри внимательнее.
Are you sure? Look closely.
Где мне его видеть?
Where would I
Я тут
see him?
никого
I
не
don't know
знаю.
anyone around
И из
here.
дома тут
I
почти
barely
не
leave the
выхожу.
house. Stop pressing me.
А может, видел в окно?
Well, maybe you've seen him from the window. I fucking said I just did it, bro.
Да, у тебя ведь окна налево.
That's right. Your windows look straight at the forest, don't they? Mom, no. The window.
Нет, не видел.
No, I haven't seen anything.
Ясно.
I see. He sounded tired, but his eyes, his stare long and heavy, was full of suspicion. Why are you suspecting me, bro? Do we have a problem? I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt, which his giant shadow cast over me. Don't feel guilty, Anton, bro. You ain't do nothing. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason.
Вы, кстати, как на новом месте?
How do you like
Попривыкли уже?
your new place, by the way? Getting used to it.
Понемногу. Только вот дочка
Bit
маленькая
by
по городу
bit.
скучает.
It's just our little daughter misses the city a lot.
Скучает, значит. Из
Misses the
местных вас
city,
никто
huh?
не беспокоит.
Have the locals been treating you well?
Все хорошо, спасибо.
Yes, everything is alright. Thank you. The policeman pierced through me one more time with his brown eyes. My head started spinning.
Может, вам помочь как-то?
Could I help you somehow? The fuck is you looking at? I asked that in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy and to end this unpleasant conversation sooner.
Я вот стою и думаю,
Now that I think about it,
ты малец на племеша
you
моего
look just
бабушки.
like one of my nephews, little fella. Okay?
Шустрый парнишка твоих
He's
лет.
the woody boy
Таким
around
же
your
огурем.
age. Wears the
Чтоб
same
книжками
type of
зачитывался.
goggles. Always engrossed in reading those mystery novels.
Когда летом погостить
Told me he
приезжал,
wants to enroll in
Говорит, что в
police
школу
school when
милиции
his
мечтать
family
не
visited
успеет.
this summer.
Как я.
Wanted
Хотел
to help
людям
other
помогать.
people, just
Смекаешь?
like me. See? I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative and not a police officer stood before me.
Ох, ребятушки.
You know what?
Сидите-ка вы
Little
лучше
boys
дома.
like you should stay at
Не
home.
ввязывайтесь
Stay
ни
away
во
from
что.
trouble. The times have
Жизнь
changed so
сейчас
much.
совсем...
Mom interjected in a cold voice.
Мне ли не знать?
You don't say.
Ну да ладно.
Ah, well then.
Ты, Антон, в каком
What
классе
grade are you
учишься?
in, Anton?
В 6.
6.
Друзей-то на новом месте еще не
Have you
завел?
made any friends here so far?
Пока нет.
Not
Я
yet.
только после
I'll be going to
каникул в
school
школу
for the
пойду.
first time after the break.
Тогда вот вам на
Ah,
всякий
then
случай
I'll leave you my
мой
number just in
номер.
case.
Звоните, если...
Call me if you have any new
Знаете
info.
что?
I mean, that's kind of cool. I got a policeman number. Like, that's tight as hell. I would call him for everything. If I get bullied, I'm calling him. The policemen were gone along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne, and the photos of a smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I wondered what it was like for him being all alone there. For some reason, I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? Horrible, dude. And what would my parents do if I'd gone missing? They would look for you. Your dad would, like, go out in the woods. Like, they like you, Anton. Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Your mom probably wouldn't. Or would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me eventually? No, they wouldn't do that. I can say that confidently.
Мам, а Вова этот в нашем лесу
Mom,
заблудился?
this Vova, where did he go missing in our forest?
Выходит, что так.
Seems like it. Poor child. I looked out the window at the road. The police drove off toward the village. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off old paint from the windowsill. I remembered all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I've read this summer. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mysteries there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, bam, solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities. Must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest. And then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation on my own? Okay, Anton. Maybe I'll find that last boy. And I'll get a reward. Olia will be so happy. And not only Olia, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. Should make me want to cry. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. I fantasized about buying Olia a Tamagotchi and getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself, bro. I'm not crying, dude. And a whole box of Kinder Surprise. Damn, that's not banned out there? When was the last time my parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. I had little to no idea what was the accountant's job like. They count money, I think. Neighbors used to envy us. But nowadays, Mom and Dad barely had money to afford sweets. And Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Olia. Sometimes I gave her my share too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. Bro, so is Anton, man. So are you, Anton. I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues.
Пойду погуляю.
I'm going outside.
Ага, сейчас.
Yeah, right.
Чтобы потом милиционеры с твоей
You
фотографией
want the
по домам
police to
ходили.
go around with your photograph next?
Лес вон какой густой.
The forest is so thick.
А если мальчика звери
What if the boy got snatched up by wild animals or something even worse? Even worse, echoed through the hallway.
Да я рядом буду.
I won't go far. I'll stay away from the forest.
Что я тебе сказала?
Did you hear what I said? Or should I repeat to myself?
Лучше портфель собери. и
Better
в
go
школе
pack her
поиграй.
school bag or play with Oria. The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. The fuck is it here? The dark, stuffy closet. We got an axe? Mom says it smells like mice. But how would she know their smell? Cause she been smelling mice, bro. She hates it when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself with a freshly sharpened axe. And Oilia can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Popeye is living there. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp so she would see there was nothing but cobwebs, Dad's tools, and scratched walls. She still didn't believe me. And I liked to hide in the closet and listen to Olia count outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. Ooh. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. I know Mom said not to go, but like, I'm gonna save our family.
Антон,
Oh.
теперь ты меня получишь.
Damn, I'll whip you if you make a single step out that door. She's a good mom. What am I lying to her for? What's in the freezer? Grandma kept ice cream for me and Olia there, but now I could only see meat bits for soup and clumped together pelmeni. I grew to hate them already. What the hell is pelmeni? I want to see what that is. Can I actually pack my bag, or do I just have to lie to my mom? I think I have to lie to my mom. What's this? The side of an old ocean freezer was... Why am I talking like that? The side of an old ocean freezer was checkered with my childish drawings, Mom's recipes, and all kinds of stickers from bubblegum with dinosaurs that Olia liked so much. Among that still life picture hung a piece of ruled paper with the phone number of the police officer who visited us. First Lieutenant Tikhonov. I read inside my mind, looking at the officer's sprawling handwriting. A scrap of paper was held by 2 pieces of broken magnet from some old Soviet toy, and those pieces just barely covered up, excuse me, that was nasty, the numbers as if to taunt me. I leaned toward it to unveil the mystery and take the piece to a safer place where it would wait for its time, when I would finally find Vova and be the first to call the police with the happy news.
Антон,
Damn. Mom's reproachful eyes stared at me.
зачем тебе?
What do you need it for? Hands off, you'll lose it. Angering my mom was the last thing I wanted, so I lowered my hands. Let's go ahead and let me just see what I can look at here, because I didn't realize I could do that. The cross, yeah. The cross had seen so many people come and go in this house. You know what? My front door has like a nail where I think somebody who lived here before hung up a cross. I'm not even gonna get to, like, I don't want to freak myself out, never mind. This cross had seen so many people come and go in this house. It was black, as if it absorbed all human sin from the long years it was hanging under the ceiling. After Grandma died, Mom was going to take it off and hang a shoe horse in its place as a lucky charm. But she cut herself with the cross. Sharp corner and almost fell from the stepladder. Damn. Dad called it a sign from above and ordered the cross be left alone in its rightful place. I would have done the same. Oh, is this where my bag is? My parents prohibited me from making long-distance calls, but from time to time, I really want to hear my old friends. Sometimes I would just pick up the phone, listen to the low hum of the zoomer and the distant crackling, imagining the wind howling in the ice-linked cords. Mom's peg top, a family relic. Mom played with it when she was little, then she gifted it to me. Olia was next in the succession line. The toy belonged to her now. She stared at the dancing spindles as if it could show her something. A fairy tale, or maybe even our future. Now, even my little sister was a bit too old for the old squeaky peg top. Oh. Let's go lie to her. It was difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from home.
Мам, там что-то с телевизором случилось.
Mom, something's wrong with the TV.
Картинка какая-то.
The picture's dim and there are stripes all over the screen. Mom's face became visibly distorted.
Без ножа меня режешь.
You're killing me
Стрелял
here.
всего-то кто.
So, have you had enough of shooting those stupid ducks now?
Говорила же,
Told you
поставьте
the,
мне кинескоп
the
в своих
kinscope
приставках.
would go dim because it's gonna console.
Где мы теперь мастера
Where
найдем
will we
в
find the
жизни,
TV technician in this hole, huh?
Может быть, просто настройки?
Maybe it's just the settings?
Сходи, посмотри,
Please, go
пожалуйста.
see for yourself. Strange. It worked in the morning.
Из-за снегопада,
Maybe the
наверное,
snowfall
неполадки.
caused it? Mom ripped her hands clean on the apron and went to Olia's room. Hurry up and go. This is fucking stupid. But let's do it, Anton. Don't worry, I got you. I opened the front door gate and went into the field. Carefully so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. When I crossed half of the distance toward the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. I remember my nightly fears. I saw those silhouettes around here. They were jumping around holding hands. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there, distant ringings in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me, and a barely audible whisper in my head, blurring, almost kind. Everything was silent. So silent, it felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Olia. The time reached its limit, a one-way trip that ended at the forest piney stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream, I can agree. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Olia turned to stone listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together, almost like all of it was in a previous life. When they kissed with Olia present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. Oh, well, one day it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke out, and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who, though? From the people with dead cold eyes who sometimes visited us in our previous home? Ugh, the eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black ground and everything. And somewhere far away a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. There were only me, this white field, and the wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby tree roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice. Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. What is that? Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from the pointy branches. Bro, it's a glove. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? I should take it, but take it to the police right now. Their senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Lights. He was also always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will this mitten help them find the lost boy? Vova! I heard a distant shout. Looked like it came from the river. Vova! As if the trees were calling out to someone. Vova! Resounded closer to me. Someone was standing there behind the trees. Hiding. Vova! I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Its stillness, how it was bent unnaturally towards the ground. Its blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. What the hell was that? A shadow split from a tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So it was my imagination. No, bro, that it wasn't. Silence reigned for a painfully long time. Dude, just pick up the fucking mitten and go back home. Like, I don't want to be out here any longer. My muscles were tightly sprung. My heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket, and I sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten once more. Take it, bro. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Can we not take it no more? Wova, wova. What the hell? A shout rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. Dude, what is going on? Take the fucking mitten, bro. I stepped towards the bristly trees and tried to find my calm. Dude, just run. Bro, stop walking so slow. Just run and get it and run back. It didn't budge. I pulled harder. The branch cracked and the mitten tore off, landing in my hand with a squishy sound. All too heavy, wet. I squeezed it without thinking. Something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny string between the mitten and the snow. Steam rose from the snowy pile. Oh, shit. Dude, that was filled with blood. I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. The sound of crackling branches invaded the silence. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. Okay, God, they'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thing and I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of reason. It gave me strength and spurred me on. You can do it! Don't stop! I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. It felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry bees, rather than a single one. Their nostrils sucked in freezing air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a wheeze. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the windfall. Hurry, run! Don't look back! It felt like I was inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became vicious like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap just to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Time to scream for mom, bro. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snow pile was clutching my pants. Take them shits off and bolt, bro. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my legs was gone. My boots slipped out of the hole and my soles were on a hard surface again. Go, bro. I reached a clear path in one jump and from there ran to my house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. The house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and the creatures that were hidden among the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks, as if a dog was striking the wood with its paws, demanding to be let in so it could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in our front yard and Mom had locked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled on the doorknob and it obediently gave way. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock and I couldn't click it into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom peeked out of the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you never to slam the door? I didn't mean to. I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone, and the breath was too. If there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, mere 5 meters away from my mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring, and with the last bit of strength I had left my body too. My legs gave way. I propped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked like the same before all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow. Where have you been? What did I tell you, huh? I told you to stay home. Am I nothing to you? I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel. Her voice rang out. Your dad can't find his cigarettes. Be honest, did you snack them? Were you smoking a cigarette? There was something chasing me, I thought. I stuttered as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned towards me and sniffled my clothes like a beast searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant, and she covered her mouth with her hand. Look over there. That's a fence. My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again and my pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I heard something scratch at the door just like in my nightmare. Mom beckoned me with her finger and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window facing my fear. Oh, it's hella dogs, bro. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in the snow, the icy winter patterns on the glass. Dogs. Just a small pack of strays with no name, no owner, barely reminding of the hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest. Oh boy, what are you scared of them? I think they'd be rather scared of you, Anton. They were chasing me like a bunny. And what if they're rabid? The smile had slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if it was her first time seeing them. What if they attack Olia? Mom? I wish your dad could just shoot them all. Mom, look, they're alive, bruh. Huh? What? Are they your friend or foe after all? Make up your mind. You're not a little kid anymore. Mom sighed in annoyance, and I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the cobweb in the corner just to keep myself from crying. Yeah, damn, Mom, I'm still like a little ass kid. Why are you doing me like this? Well, some detective I am. No, we got the mitten, bro. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. And for what? What use do I have for this? Mitten? Of course! A darkened, sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hand. Seems like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my trump card. As a detective, I hurried to present the clue to my mom. Mom, look, this is Wolf's mitten. That boy the police were asking about in this morning. It's drenched in blood. I found it hanging on a tree.
Вон там, могу
I
показать.
can show where.
Давай в милицию.
Let's call the police
Звони.
right away
Как
like the
раз участковый
officer had
просил.
told us to.
Мам, гляди.
Mom, look.
Фу.
Ooh. A shadow of doubt slowly crept into Mom's contorted face, as if she were trying to remember something distant, like someone tries to remember their dream, but the image slips away.
А ну-ка прекрати сейчас.
Stop it this moment.
Оля, тебя
Oria will go insane if she hears you.
Она и так не...
She's already has trouble sleeping and whines all the time.
Еще и ты со
And
своими
you
шутками.
joke around like this? Mom, no, I'm dead ass. At the moment, I realized the mitten was actually wet from snow. There was no blood whatsoever. I went to sink through the floor from embarrassment.
Иди сюда, паникер.
Come here, my boy who cried wolf.
Да не стой,
Well,
столбом.
don't just stand there. Come take your pills.
Таблетку на.
A golden-colored pill reminiscent of a dead wasp fell into my
Я уже
palm.
пил сегодня.
I already
Сказала.
took one during breakfast.
Попререкайся мне.
Don't talk over me.
Сказала дома.
I told you to
Нет,
stay home, and you,
бы отец
Dad
выбрал.
would have given you a good whipping for that.
Сейчас же выпей, а то
Come
ночью
on,
не
take
уснешь.
it, or you won't be able to sleep at night, and you have school tomorrow. So I swallowed to swallow the bitter medication, drinking it down with the similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. Maybe it wasn't Volva's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten after all. Just like the forest monsters and Olia's owl. Am I going mad? What's happening to me? Either the pill had an immediate effect, or my overexerted brain didn't let the fear inside anymore. Serenity washed over me, bringing yawny indifference along with it.
Антон, выпил?
Anton,
Можешь, если
you
захочешь.
done? See? You can do it when you try.
Раздевайся.
Take off
Уснул,
your
что
coat,
ли?
or are you sleepy?
Нет,
No,
мам.
Mom, I was just thinking.
Интересно, о чем же?
What about, I wonder?
Так,
It's just something silly. Mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son and not some doppelganger that came from the forest.
точно все нормально?
Is everything alright?
У тебя такое лицо.
You had the
как
exact
будто
same
это
expression when the police asked you about the window.
Все нормально.
I'm alright, Mom. She heaved a deep sigh. Fun. It seemed like the house had changed. The sofa's fabric had become discolored. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt different, dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva inside my mouth had a different taste. A melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Olia was done and we were watching her favorite Little Mermaid episodes and switched to other tapes. I slowly changed into my home clothes, stopped before the sink, and studied my reflection in the mirror, like I was trying to solve one of those spot the difference puzzles. Then I went upstairs. Jafar's and Laga's voices died down. Let me see how long I've been playing, dude. I walked past Olia's bedroom and slipped into my own. One of the drawers was empty. I hid the mitten there. The simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. I sat on the bed, and then I noticed there was someone behind the curtains. My tired hand dropped to the sheets. Whether it was due to medication I took or stress I underwent, the room began to contort as if it was the wind was blowing the walls out. The corners of the room bent, and I don't fucking know what that word was. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsill and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my hidden visitor. It reminded me of burial sheets. Olia? Who else would be standing there? I stood up and licked my dry boots. Bro, it's her. You already said she liked to hide behind her.
Очень смешно.
Yeah, Olia, it's so funny. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached towards the curtains. Ba-dum, beat my heart, controlled by medication. The wind sang in the field with a chorus of voices. For a second, I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking back at me. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic rings wrestled against the holder when I pulled open the curtains.
Попался!
Gotcha!
Да я сразу понял, что...
I knew it was you from the beginning. Deadass, I did. A blindingly bright halo lit up above Olya's head with the setting sun in the background. My sister was shiny. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was shiny with happiness. I always retorted, but Dad, she's not some flashlight. But I brought her to the window one day and sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a light woven child.
А я все видела.
I saw everything.
Да ну,
Oh, really?
что ты спрятал?
What did you hide? She was just like my mom when she was little before she put on her sad mask of tiredness and switched her commanding tone of voice.
Ничего, просто...
It's nothing, just... Olya ran up to the table, her eyes round, and asked,
Ты что-то
You
украл?
stole something and hid it there?
Ты вор?
Are you a thief?
Что?
What?
Глупая.
Don't be stupid.
Ничего я не
I didn't
крал.
steal anything. A clear image came to my mind, that mitten hanging from a tree branch. What if I did steal it after all? You ain't stole nothing, bro. Nobody was coming back for that. From the forest, from the tilted figure standing behind black trees, Olya could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted.
Покажи тогда.
Then show me.
Поклянись, что никому
Swear
не
that you
скажешь.
won't tell
Тогда
anyone,
покажу.
then I'll show you. Olya wore a plotting smile.
Клянусь
I
моим сердцем.
swear on Mom's heart. An oath she heard in one of the movies about pioneers we've watched. Wait, dude, there was a glossary. Bye-bye, in Slavic folklore, a nocturnal spirit used by parents to threaten their ill-behaving. Oh, okay. Believe me, a Russian variety of dumplings made by boiling thing of leavened dough filled with mincemeat. Shit might be good, bro. That's not good, I'm not gonna lie. An oath she heard in one of her favorite movies about the pioneers we've watched.
Говори так.
Don't say things like that. Olya nodded and made a gesture with her heart, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. I opened the drawer and Olya leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was not just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic critter.
Это...
Is this someone's mitten? She said that as if she couldn't understand what she saw.
Один мальчик потерял.
A certain boy lost it and got lost
Ты
himself.
понимаешь, как опасно...
Now,
гулять
you
в
do
лесу?
understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander into the forest, right?
Ему, наверное,
It must
там
be
очень
really
холодно.
cold out there.
Его найдут?
Will they find him?
Обязательно.
They will.
Участковый по
The
домам
police are
ходит.
going house to
Покажи,
house showing his
покажи.
photo to everybody. Olya traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window.
А почему он по домам ходит?
Why are they going to the houses and not the forest?
Боится?
Are they scared? The question caught me out of guard. That's a good point.
Милиционеры
The
ничего не
policemen aren't
боятся.
scared of anything.
И лес они
They've
прочесали.
already scouted the forest. Yeah, right, flashed in my crowded mind, because that fucking mitten was right there, and if they did, they would have found it. Lying asses. Did they really check every nook and cranny where darkness, cold, and whispers of icy branches dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Right, and the mitten was right there. Like, they didn't even touch the forest, dude. Or did it appear later for me? Huh. I changed the topic. Good idea. As if trying to get Olya as far away as possible from the thick forest. We may get a reward if I go and find this boy by myself. A lot of stuff, like in the Wheel of Fortune.
Клёво же.
Sounds cool, right? Olya wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic for her.
А что, если это сама
What if
его утащила?
Ta'al him?
Ерунда.
Nonsense.
Не может
And
сама
I
поднять
won't be
человека.
able to lift a human.
Ну вот что.
But you know what? I was picking my words with the utmost care. I forced them out of my exerted brain.
Ты в лес не суйся.
Stay away from the
Покажешь,
forest.
какой-то,
I think it's...
как бы сказать,
How should I put it?
проклятый,
It's
что ли.
cursed or something.
Как в сказке?
Just like in a fairy tale?
Нет.
No,
Скорее, как
more
в
like
той
in that
сказке,
spooky
что
tape
родители
our
прячут.
parents hide from us. Olya shivered and stole a glance at the window.
Я видела,
I
как ты
saw you
убегал.
running away.
За тобой кто-то
Someone was
гнался?
chasing you.
Нет, просто...
No, it's just
чтобы
I was
мама не
hurrying back home
волновалась,
so
пришел
mom
домой.
won't be worried. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile. It was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind and her small fire would be gone. Damn.
Хорошо тебе.
You're lucky.
Меня вот мама не
Mom
пускает
won't
даже
even
на
let me
крыльцо.
go outside.
Как принцесса.
I'm like a
в
princess in the tower. Can't go anywhere.
Так и умру.
I'll die from boredom here.
Не придумывай.
You're wrong.
У тебя же
Oh,
есть
shit.
я и мультики. А мама с папой скоро
And
помирятся.
you have me and your cartoons. And mom and dad will be good to each other soon.
Знаешь, что бы я
You know
загадала на
what?
следующий день рождения?
I would wish for on my next birthday.
Чтобы родители
I wish
тоже
for mom and
вместе
dad's
росли.
turn to children so we could all play together like we used to. Aw.
Ага. А если бы они стали
Yeah,
размером
and if you
жука,
make them
мы
as
бы
small as
типичный
bugs,
коробок
we could
посадили.
place them in a little box. Olia giggled and tugged at my sleeve.
Тоша, пойдем Аладдина смотреть?
Let's go watch Aladdin. Fatigue won over my desire to be with my little sister. I was washed over by some sort of heinous apathy.
Вымотался я.
I'm too
Что-то
tired.
хочется.
I don't wanna.
Ну пойдем.
Come on!
Мне скучно
It's so
одной,
boring
а мама
alone and
занята
mom's
всё
always
время.
busy.
Можно выбрать
We could
другой
pick a
мультик,
cartoon you
например.
haven't seen before.
Да я все наши
I know all of our
кассеты
tapes by
слушала.
heart at this point.
А вот и не
Not
все.
all of them.
Ты
You
Питера Пэна
haven't
не
watched
видел.
Peter Pan.
Помнишь, ты уснул на
Remember
середине?
how you fell asleep in the middle of it?
А там потом
It, so
такое.
much happens after that. Let's go, let's go.
Давай попозже.
Maybe a bit later.
Рассказать тебе, чем
Should I
все
tell you
закончилось?
how it ends?
Утром расскажешь.
Let's leave that for tomorrow.
Утром не
I
захочу.
won't tell you tomorrow.
Придумала.
I know,
А
let's
давай
play hide and
спрятаться.
seek.
Нет.
No, Julia.
Тогда
Then draw me a dino.
Оля,
Oh yeah, please.
нарисуй.
Draw it. Oh yeah, just let me. Ugh.
Оставь ты меня в покое.
Right. I'm sorry, kid, but like, gotta get the fuck on. I blurted it out without thinking, and then I was immediately taken back. I never screamed at my little sister like that. Olia stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling. Oh no, here it comes, bro. Here's the waterworks. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? Now your mom is gonna whoop your ass, dude. This is gonna be so unfair.
Ладно.
Alright, you win. Let's go watch cartoons for a bit.
Уже не хочу.
I don't wanna. I came up to her, put my hands on her soft head. Let's go.
Питера Пэна
Watch
посмотрим.
Peter Pan. Just say sorry, dude. Just say sorry. Don't do it like that.
Ага, ты опять уснешь.
Boo, you'll fall asleep again. I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless.
Не усну.
I promise I won't.
А потом я тебе
And I'll
целого
draw you a
дня
full triceratops later.
Ура! Ну, почти.
Well, close enough. Olia rubbed her eyes with the sleeve of her pajamas, and a shining smile returned to her face.
Давай ты пока
I'll go ask
катись,
Bob for condensed milk and bread, and you rewind the tape. Ooh, that sound good when you're poor, bro.
Только утром свежий
The bread
принеси,
is
как ты
fresh,
любишь.
just how you like it.
Неси, только аккуратнее,
Alright,
а то
just be
разольешь.
careful not to spill the milk,
Опять ругаться будешь.
or you'll be yelled at again.
Спорим, не разолью.
Wanna bet? I won't spill it.
Конфета где-то в тумбочке.
The tape
Поищи
is
пока.
somewhere in the nightstand. Look for it. Olia disappeared into the doorway, and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. What can we look at here? We're not looking out the window. Olia's countless toys. An old teddy bear is the main attraction here. Olia doesn't sleep without it. And she digs in her nose into its furs when she sleeps. I'm gonna save. Can I fucking save? Do I want to continue or do I just want to leave?